and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and on today's program we will learn about a new partnership between Quincy College and Eastern Nazarene College with Presidents Rick DeCristofaro and Jack Connell. First, though, we do take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, some sunshine, a few clouds out there. It's 78 degrees right now. Today will turn out partly cloudy and not as warm as it's been. Highs only in the lower 80s. This afternoon, much more comfortable, too. Good sleeping weather tonight, windows open, lows into the mid-60s. Very summer-like forecast, really, for the next several days. A little bit more hazy tomorrow with highs in the mid-80s. Kind of hot and humid with a chance for a spot shower Sunday. High of 88 degrees. A lot of clouds, but pretty muggy and warm on Monday with a high near 90. Looks like we could have a heat wave later next week. But again, some hazy sunshine, 78 in Quincy right now. In the news today, a new nonprofit foundation is being formed to create what will be called the Adams Presidential Center in Quincy Center. That new center will honor the legacy of the Adams families. An announcement was held Tuesday at the Adams Academy, unveiling the plans for the new foundation, which will be chaired by Quincy native, retired General Joseph Dunford, who will be joined by former Congressman William Delahunt, Catherine Algor of the Mass Historical Commission, and Catherine Craven of the Massachusetts Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. Secretary of State Bill Galvin said the goal of the new center will be to inspire people to learn from the past.
John Adams was the first incumbent president to be defeated. His son was the second. And when they were defeated in their quest to reclaim or keep the presidency, neither one of them promoted an insurrection. None of them suggested that they should storm wherever the votes were being counted to make sure it didn't happen. So many years ago, they were ahead of all of us in seeing the importance of the peaceful transfer of power. Even to people they clearly didn't like, or at least at the time John Adams didn't like Jefferson. He came to like him later again. But the reality is they were a marvelous example for us and for our country and for the world. We speak as Americans of how proud we are of the peaceful transfer of power and the significance of elections and democracy. The people that first tested it out were the Adamses, and they showed us the way. And by memorializing them and advancing their advice and their ideas and educating people about them, you do Massachusetts a great service, you do America a great service, and you do the world a great service. Congratulations and best of luck. Thank you.
So the city has hired 2 consultants to help determine programs and exhibits at the new center. An exact cost and location have not yet been determined. However, Mayor Thomas Koch says he hopes to break ground on that new center in Quincy Center when Quincy celebrates its 400th anniversary in 2025. There were 3 promotions on the Quincy Police Department earlier this week. Lieutenant Dan Garente was made a captain. Sergeant Michael Durand made a lieutenant, and Officer Andrew Sweeney became a sergeant. Speaking at the ceremony in the Great Hall at Quincy City Hall, Quincy Police Chief Paul Keenan acknowledged the hard work and sacrifice of each officer.
It's a big day in their lives, it's a big day in the families' lives, and the families know the dedication that it takes to get to this point, to stand up here and get a badge pinned on you. There's a lot of time spent away from the family, missing family events and whatnot to become proficient and to top these exams. And they're not difficult, but Quincy's one of the best in the state as far as topping the exams, so it's just that much more competitive. I'd like to thank the mayor also for the continued support of the Quincy Police Department. He's always right up there with in front when we need bodies. We've increased the size of the department quite a bit since I've taken over 15 years ago as the chief, and it continues today, and this is just a reflection of that. You guys are coming on board at a great time. We're getting a brand new police station. There's going to be a lot of changes up in the upper management. There's new faces that you'll see. There are a lot more swearing-in ceremonies that we'll attend, and I'd just like to congratulate you all.
Well, those promotions were the result of the recent retirement of Captain John Dugan. Garente will replace Dugan as executive officer. Durand will take over when Lieutenant Pat Glynn retires soon as head of the Special Investigations and Drug Unit. and Sweeney will be assigned to patrol on the midnight shift. Today, 25 new patrol officers will be sworn in during a City Hall ceremony. 6 of them have already completed their training. Protesters gathered in Quincy Center earlier this week to urge the state legislature to pass a climate justice bill before the end of the current legislative session on July 30th. Organizations including the Quincy Climate Action Network, the Quincy Tree Alliance, and Mothers Out Front all rallied on the Hancock Adams Common, saying Massachusetts isn't doing enough to meet its goal of net zero emissions by the year 2025. State Representative Tacky Chan of Quincy is chair of the House committee that's debating that climate justice bill. The group Mass Power Forward sponsored similar protests all around the state back on Monday. Supporters say lawmakers should pass the bill before Governor Baker has a chance to veto it. Well, 9 local businesses recently graduated from the Quincy Chamber of Commerce's Quest program. Quest is a nonprofit organization that uses an MBA program to teach business owners how to improve, understand, and grow their current business using hands-on curriculum, interactive peer-to-peer learning, CEO mentors, and even some guest experts. Now, the biweekly classes are taught at Quincy College, and the program was financed through a federal grant from the Quincy Planning Department. Graduates received their certificates after oral presentations of their 3-year strategic growth plan to a group of private and public city leaders. The Chamber will launch a second Quest class this fall. That's our check of news. Coming up, Quincy College President Rick DeCristofaro and Eastern Nazarene College President Jack Connell will be joining us to explain a new partnership they have next. Welcome back. 2 institutions of higher learning here in the city of Quincy are joining forces under a new partnership, a unique partnership between Quincy College and Eastern Nazarene College. So who better than the presidents of both of those fine organizations to stop by and tell us about it? Please welcome Jack Connell and also, you know him, Dr. Rick DeCristofaro. Gentlemen, good to see you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Jack, nice to have you back, actually. How long has it been now since you've been at ENC?
Just about 3.5 years
Okay.
now since I've been here.
Okay, so you reminded me that you were here when you first came to Quincy. Is it what you expected it would be?
Well, there's been that pandemic happened in the intervening
Oh, yeah,
years,
that.
so sometimes
Yeah.
people refer to me as the pandemic president at
Really?
ENC because that has sort of dominated the landscape of
Yeah.
my first few years here. So that has limited in some ways my ability to, at least in those first couple of years, to get out and enjoy the city and
Right.
enjoy the area and explore. But it's been wonderful to be here. Quincy's a wonderful community, and I'm privileged to be serving here.
Well-
People have welcomed me very warmly, including you.
So that's
thank
nice
you.
to hear. Good. Well, it certainly hasn't limited ENC's outreach to the community and its success, and now this new partnership with Quincy College as well. But it's in a statement, it was called unique. So is it unique for ENC to partner, or for community colleges to partner with each other in general?
This is very unique for ENC.
Okay.
We have never done anything like this with Quincy College
Okay.
before, and as far as I know, I don't want to say that we're the only 2 colleges in the country
Yeah.
doing this, because there is nothing new under the sun, but
Yeah.
I'm not aware of any other community college and 4-year college
Okay.
that have a relationship, a partnership like the one that we are developing. So I think it's pretty innovative and very exciting.
Yeah. So the way it works is at ENC you've set aside some space for nursing students who are attending Quincy College to actually have housing, right, and transportation and meals.
Right, we've set aside a section of one of our residence halls for students who will continue to be Quincy College students.
Okay.
But they will live in our residence hall, they will eat in our dining commons, they'll have access to our library, they'll be a part of our community while continuing to be students at Quincy College.
Yeah.
So we're very excited about the opportunity and appreciate the president here making this possible for us.
Yeah, so how did this all come about, Rick?
Well, I think it goes back to Mayor Sheets a few years ago.
Yeah.
Talked about it. Talked about the idea that if the college needed or wanted residents, that Quincy College certainly could partner with ENC. So it's been around. Jack Raymer, our Director of Athletics, has talked about it in regard to our student athletes. So it's been there, you know, and I think this is just the time, certainly for us, and possibly and likely for Jack as well, because if there are things that we can do together, and this is one of them, it just leads to other partnerships that we can offer, and it's really a beautiful campus. It really
question,
is a beautiful campus and great buildings, and you know, just to compliment Jack on his leadership, you talk about community. It's not the easiest thing to come into Quincy and hop right into a college presidency, and I think you've done a really great job. You know, your personality, you know, really is something that's very, very welcoming. So I'm very appreciative, and the housing piece for the college, selfishly, is something that, you know, I think has been talked about, but I think it's going to help us in enrollment. But it's also going to help students in a way that they can blend as well into this community, because that demographic may not certainly be one that's local. This demographic is widening for us. You know, could be from anywhere, and certainly the city of Quincy is an incredible place to live. That Wollaston area in particular, you know, and the T is there to get into Boston if you wish, or to go downtown. So there's a lot of real positive things about this partnership. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all the things that Quincy College does offer, it can't offer a you know, residential experience, right? And
Correct.
that's part of college life, isn't it? Is you know, living alone, independently on campus.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
I think that's part of why we need to have this, because it is about student life.
Yeah.
You know, and we have a lot of clubs, we do a lot of great things, but that in particular we cannot do.
Right,
So
yeah.
that's why we're very grateful.
So logistically, how does it work, Rick? How do folks apply for it and become approved for
again,
it?
they would look for admission just like anyone else would, you know. And what we do is we're marketing the idea that we're partnering with Eastern Nazarene College, and so the admission is very, very similar to anything else you want to do. So the nursing, you know, that we're looking at right now, and we can talk about how we expand that. Because this is late. So if we go to nursing, or we go to another area that we both agree on that would be good for the students and good for ENC, you know. So they would go through our admission process just like they would. They'd get financial aid just like they would. But this housing piece would be something that would be a lucky strike extra. You know, something that adds to, again, student life, you know, to it. So what we would do is then work with Eastern Nazarene to say who these students are. We'd set up a tour of the area, the dormitory, the campus, show them the food service area, which is excellent. I know you've just upgraded that as well. Yeah. And the library is absolutely stunning. It's a really gorgeous. So you know, our students can really take part in campus life there to a certain extent.
Right.
But the educational piece, you know, will be only Quincy College, and that's by way of the New England Council of Higher Education. You got to be careful to mix and match type of thing. So,
Okay.
But an absolutely outstanding opportunity for us, and I hope always for Eastern Nazarene as well.
How many students would be able to take part in that housing program?
I don't know. I mean, are we talking maybe 30 or 40 or 50
Yes,
or
we
whatever?
could
Yeah.
accommodate up to 30 or 40
Yeah.
in this one residence
Yeah.
hall. A couple different floors designated for this,
okay.
quite easily.
Okay. And would that be paid for through their tuition to Quincy College, or would there be a separate?
That's
pay
the
arrangement?
tuition. The tuition is one thing. The housing would be. I think we've talked about it in a way that would go right directly to Eastern Nazarene
Okay.
for the housing piece.
Okay.
How that happens, that sort of business magic, I'm not really sure, but it'll happen.
Okay, but it's
Right. Right.
If not, Jeff will say, "Hey,
If not, we're both going to be in trouble. So yes, once the students are admitted to Quincy College and agree to reside with us, then the ball gets handed to us, and we will work directly with those students in terms of the logistics, the billing
Okay.
around the room and the board.
Okay.
So
And-
we'll take care of that side of it.
and transportation, as I understand too, is provided. Is there's a shuttle?
yeah, we'll have shuttles for them for their
Okay.
classes."
Or
and-
like you said, the T is right there too.
The T is right there
Yeah.
too if they wish to do that, but we'll set up a shuttle service for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Look at this.
All good
Yeah.
stuff.
No,
Working together.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You
I mean-
know, it's interesting. The Eastern Nazarene has an incredible history, not necessarily with the college, but with Quincy Public Schools. So many of
Certainly,
the teachers that I was fortunate to hire in my million years in the school system really are incredibly high high quality educators. So we're thankful for the institution to be so embedded in Quincy because our school system and our students and parents really benefit incredibly for that. And a lot of stuff. I mean, I taught there very briefly, and many of the principals.
Oh, I didn't know that, Rick.
Yeah, many of the principals that are there that are with us with the school system
Yes.
right now got their master's degree through a great program at Eastern Nazarene College. So, no, there's a lot of really great things. I think the key is though the educational piece that the students get there, brings that really some real heart to the classrooms, to our classrooms at the Quincy Public Schools. So that's a nice, really great piece. This partnership extends it to Quincy College, which I'm really proud of.
Okay. You, of course, have your 4-year degree program now in business management, and now a second 4-year degree program?
Yeah, looking at computer science.
Wow.
In January, beginning that in January, as well as the radiology program as well in January. And I think those also could be students, that when we begin to advertise the 4-year, that also could look at housing with Jack at Eastern Nazarene College. So anything that we do future-wise, and we're very proud of these two 4-year programs. I think we should always think about this connection to the partnership. So we will do that, and when we begin to market it, of course, you'll see the marketing. It's always good to share with you that,
it's
but
fantastic.
I think we'll do that and always have that in mind. But so business is doing okay. We just need more enrollment, but the professors are doing fine. The classes are excellent, and we're all set to. We have all our approvals. NETCHI approves it in mid-September, but we're all set with them. They just that's when their next meeting is.
see.
So we'll wait
Okay.
for them. So we'll begin to really market that in the fall for a January opening.
I just this picture of two college presidents in the same community sitting side by side talking about a partnership, I think is a role model. I don't think you'll see it in many other
Right.
communities. And
Yes,
you're
I
nodding
mean,
your
Rick
head
has
like
been a wonderful colleague and friend in welcoming me to the community and offering so much encouragement, as he's even done in this conversation.
Right.
And I think we both hope that what we're doing in this particular partnership will be the beginning of a wonderful new relationship.
right, that's right.
Lots of ways in which we can work together, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
here we are, the only two colleges in the city.
In the
of
city,
Quincy.
right.
We have missions that are complementary,
Yeah, they are.
primarily 2-year programs, primarily 4-year programs. There are lots of ways in which we could
Absolutely.
conceivably work together, and I think higher education as a sector is under so much stress
Certainly.
for a lot of different reasons.
You mentioned the pandemic. That's just one of them.
Right. Demographics, a lot of economic uncertainty, a lot of reasons why both of our institutions and most higher education institutions are under a lot of pressure. So I think one of the things that means is that we should try to work together more instead of less.
Yeah,
and I think this is a baby step
It is
in
City
that
of Quincy.
direction.
I mean, this is what the City of Quincy does. Everything's about collaboration. Everything's
Right.
about sharing and doing the very, very best for whatever clients that you're serving. But the athletic program is excellent. But we have been able to use the gymnasium at ENC, which has been a godsend for us
For quite
in
a while
our
now.
basketball program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're very appreciative of that. They play some games at the new South Middle School.
Oh.
So we've played there, but a lot of and practiced there. But many of the games that are very, very successful basketball program plays is at Eastern Nazarene, and I think that the athletic director there, has been incredible about looking at their schedule and seeing how they can accommodate our program. So again, it's student life that we don't have
Right.
that is
Yeah.
made available by Eastern Nazarene. So we're thankful for that as well.
Sure, and Jack, you see a benefit for ENC through this partnership, obviously, as well. Not only through potentially more students, but also just community giving back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we believe that we know that these students will enrich our community.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's what you learn in the classroom from faculty, but there's also the learning that happens just by being in an educational community with peers and colleagues. And so these Quincy College students will enrich the experience of our students and our faculty, and as they have opportunity to interact with them, our whole community. And so we will be the beneficiaries of that. I hope they will be enriched as well
they
by
will.
their
Of course they will.
participation in our community. So there's all sorts of wins there. And then I think there are opportunities to build new academic sorts of programs,
Really?
articulation agreements between our two schools that could enrich our students as well and those of Quincy College.
I know that's been a primary goal of your kind of administration, is these articulation programs, both with the public schools, but also with community colleges in the area, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We have a lot of, now there's over 10 dual enrollment places, including Quincy and North, of course, but south of Boston. So we have those agreements, which is really, really great. And then the articulation agreements, we just at Roxbury Community College.
Yes.
Yesterday, there to sign an agreement for our business management, so they can come here for they come here for their third and fourth year.
Right.
So you even have it so they can stay at Roxbury. Have our professors go to Roxbury Community College, so they don't have to leave their environment, or we work with their faculty, and their faculty can help us with the instruction. So the transition is seamless, for students. So there's probably 4 or 5 other community colleges that Provost Yatton is dealing with right now that we hope gain us students, but also just broaden the brand, just make sure people know that Quincy College is not just here.
Yep.
Although we have probably about well over 20% of the students that we have, all ages, are from the city of Quincy.
Sure, okay. It's interesting though, Roxbury Community College, this is non-threatening to them because they've already got their enrollment students for the first 2 years, right?
Yeah.
But it does make them more attractive, where they can say, hey, if you start here, you can finish, also stay here, but finish through Quincy College at the same time.
Yeah. And the articulation agreements beyond the business and computer science, I think there are so many of our 2-year programs that our mission and ENC's mission, the curriculum piece that you offer at ENC, are things that we can really capitalize on and make sure we share resources in a way that's beneficial both to the colleges, but as well as our students.
Yes, yeah. Jack, do you see ENC needing to expand at all on campus? New facilities, new construction, and new programs?
We certainly are seeking to update and improve our current facilities.
Okay.
We don't have a lot of opportunity to build new buildings
Right, yeah.
because our campus is pretty small and we're pretty tightly landlocked there. But there is opportunity for us to do renovation and upgrades, and we've invested a lot of money in the campus in the last 2 or 3 years.
Really?
Well, many years, but since I came in the last 2 or 3 years, and we will continue to do that because offering those cutting edge facilities, particularly in sciences, engineering, is really important to be attractive in the marketplace.
Sure.
And so yes, that's a continual priority for us.
Okay, and Rick, I know long term the hope is to find a permanent home for Quincy College right downtown, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll continue to work with the mayor and the mayor's office to see what his timeline is and to see where it fits in his incredible amount of priorities. But he loves the college, and I know he's an incredible advocate. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, well, just earlier this week, he talked about incorporating Quincy College into this Adams Presidential Center.
I think what a great option for the college to be a part of such an exciting initiative, whether it's, our students involved in it, and just from the beginning of it, just the development of it, the way the person was talking about, and I forget her name, the way she was introducing it as something that would be so much more modern, rather than museum-ish.
Right.
So I think it's going to relate to all ages, which we really want to be a part of.
Absolutely. And Jack, do you see ENC getting involved somehow in this center?
We haven't had direct conversations about that. I'd welcome that. Maybe that could be the topic at our next meeting.
There you go.
Rick, and,
there you go.
Well, it sounds like a new
Would
curriculum.
love to be a part of that. Absolutely.
Offering, and perhaps for your instructors, as well, to utilize that facility as kind of a library or research facility.
Yeah.
Anything else we should let folks know about right now?
I think we're good, but go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no,
I said I think we.
No.
I'm talking to Jeff.
You were the royal we. You were speaking for both of us, and that's perfectly fine. No,
Yeah.
I think that this whole partnership is just indicative of the way in which both institutions, I think, are trying to be really innovative in serving the needs of prospective students and the needs of our community. I think there was a day when colleges and universities could just say, "This is who we are," and
There it is.
Take it or leave
Don't
it,
tread on me, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But we really want to serve the community, and this partnership is an important way for us to do that. And I'm grateful for the opportunity
Agree.
to do this with you,
Thank you.
and for the opportunity to talk about it with you today.
Oh, it's our pleasure to be able to let folks know about it. You know, the watchword of the past 2 pandemic years has been pivot. You know, how do you
Right.
pivot, and how do you adapt to the new
That's right.
climate, the new reality? This is a great example, I
Yeah,
think, right here.
yeah.
So, thank you both. Great to see you.
Thank you, Joe. Always great to see you.
Thank you,
Likewise.
Joe.
You're
Pleasure.
welcome.
Pleasure.
Just enough time to check the forecast for you for the rest of the day. Today, it's what you see is what you get out there. Hazy sunshine, not as warm as it's been. Temperatures will climb into the low 80s this afternoon. Much drier and more comfortable this evening. Lows will drop off into the mid 60s. Pretty decent beach weekend coming up. Look at high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s for both days. A little more humid on Sunday, and then we start to turn hot again on Monday. Maybe a mini heat wave next week. Thanks again going out to Jack Connell and Rick DeCristofaro for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching Monday here in the program. It's all about cars. The car doctor, John Paul from AAA Northeast, will be our guest. Don't forget our website is available for you anytime. It's qatv.org. You'll find our latest programs there. There's news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and a whole lot more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.